Hello and welcome to the latest web user vodcast. My name's Daniel Booth, I'm Deputy Editor. With me here is Ben Cameron-Jones, he's our News Editor. We're going to be discussing some of the headlines that have made news on the web this week. Now, we're all concerned about avoiding fraud online, so it's reassuring to learn that the House of Lords sees it as a serious threat as well. A new report outlines proposals to protect people on the web. Ben, what does it say?
Well, this report is actually a follow-up to a big report that came out last summer. Really, it's the follow-up to the report that essentially said that the internet is like the Wild West. And the government roundly ignored that. All the recommendations made, none of them were implemented. So really it's the House of Lords having a second go at making the government listen. Now, one important thing that's happened in the interim was in November, if you remember, the records were lost by Revenue and Customs. That's kind of been a bit of a wake-up call for the government, and I think really the report is probably going to be a bit better received. Now, what it essentially is talking about is protection of people who lose money from online banking fraud, which is a big problem at the moment. Really, there's no kind of legislation in place that actually guarantees anyone who loses money that they're going to get it back. What the Lords want is for a law to be passed, whereas at the moment we're relying on the banking code, which is not very easy to use really, because the banks often will say if someone's lost their PIN number, something like that, then they're either have been negligent or even were maybe complicit in the fraud. So that's not very good protection from the banks. So really the Lords are just wanting the banks to sort of tighten up their act.
And also just to make sure that banks accept more responsibility about it.
Yes.
Because at the moment the banks have been slightly hands off and just let the customers get on with it themselves, and it's the customers' responsibility. This has been on the customers to ensure security.
Absolutely.
Surely, the House of Lords are saying, well, banks, you're making money out of the customers. It's up to you as well to make sure that they're protected.
Yes, I think the critical thing is going to be is when there's a case of fraud, it's going to be up to the bank to actually prove that the person was complicit in it, rather than use that as the assumption. So I think that if this actually does go through, then it will be making a big difference.
And how do you think banks will react? To
be honest, I think some of them are taking big steps in terms of online security anyway.
You saw Barclays Bank, of course.
Barclays have taken big steps in terms of giving free internet security software to all their online customers. I think, I hope there'll be a positive response. I suspect that they may try and fight back against this, but really, the Lords have sort of taken a lot of evidence in making this decision. I think it is probably a good thing to do.
The tide's moving against banks, really, in that
in a sense that it's going to be more sort of in favour of customers who lose money.
And it's quite amusing, really, that the government it took the government losing very important files to make them realise actually us public as well have to be protected about possible dangers online.
That's it. It was quite shocking to me. I was at the launch of the first report last year. It was a very big document, and they'd obviously taken it very seriously and done a lot of research and talked to an awful lot of people, and to see how badly it was received by the government, or just how much it was ignored.
Was that naivety, do you think?
I think it was possibly just burying their heads in the sand. They didn't really seem to want to accept that the internet is actually quite a dangerous place if you don't know what you're doing, you don't have adequate protection, that sort of thing. So they were just kind of trying to absolve themselves of responsibility, but now obviously they can't do that.
So if the internet is the Wild West, then maybe the House of Lords are the sheriff and the deputy and the local law enforcers. Moving on, it's good news for fans of the BBC iPlayer. It's already revolutionised the way people watch TV and revolutionised the way people use the web. Now you'll be able to queue up TV shows to watch. So if you can't actually watch something, you'll be able to press a button and well, tell me, Ben. I don't know how it works. Why don't you tell me how it works?
It's certainly going to make the iPlayer a bit more popular, but I think it's probably going to be increasing popularity amongst ISPs more than anything else. Right. What it's going to allow you to do is when a programme's coming up, you'll be able to pre-order it. This will allow the BBC to sort of choose a suitable time to deliver it to you. Obviously it just applies to downloads, not to the streaming.
Okay.
But if you wanted to say, watch a programme that's going to be on next week, you can order it, and then the BBC will choose a suitable time of day when they can download it to your computer. That means that they can avoid sort of having all the traffic moving on the network all at the same time, which is one of the things that ISPs, particularly Tiscali, have been very concerned about in the past. So really, it's just a way of them managing network traffic a bit better, and hopefully kind of moving away from the controversy that we saw earlier. Yeah.
So it just allows them to pick and choose really when to send something. Okay, so I mean, and ultimately the benefit for the customer will be.
Well, really, to be honest, it will just allow you to plan your viewing a bit ahead. You know, you kind of get a heads up on what's going to be on iPlayer. You know, you'll probably be able to book these things, and you know, maybe even book a series
if you're going on holiday or.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. So it's not going to actually let you watch anything in advance.
No.
I mean, you'll not see everything before it actually appears on BBC TV, but it's just going to, you know, be a bit easier on the network.
It's about just like setting your video recorder if you're off for a fortnight in the summer.
Pretty much.
Yeah. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, well that's the end of the vodcast for this fortnight. My name's Daniel Booth, I'm Deputy Editor, and you can buy the latest issue of Web User, a faster PC for free. Loads of tips, loads of advice on how you can actually make your PC faster and quicker. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, absolutely.